What up gamers, I'm Jason, and today on Dice & Dragons I'm going to be unboxing Alter Quest, designed by Brady and Adam Sadler and published by Blacklist Games LLC. Now this is going to be the first part of my Alter Quest unboxings. Now just a little bit of behind the scenes, this is actually my second take at this. Originally I planned to unbox the stretch goals after the main box, but you'll see there's quite a lot of content, so I decided to split this video up into two parts. So this will be part one, where we'll take a look at the main game and the expansions, the Ruins of Arkenspire. I know I say differently in the video, but I just want to let our viewers know. Now, what are you going to be doing in Alter Quest? Well, this is a cooperative campaign game, so you're going to be playing through the campaign. You must solve the adventure, make sure that you deal with the altars and the enemies in order to restore peace to the land. Now, I haven't looked at the campaign book, so I'm not really sure exactly what the story is. Don't want to give away too many spoilers. You will have a standard map that's going to be set up different ways depending on the scenario. And with Ruins of Arkenspire, you're going to be getting a few new maps for some specific encounters. Now, this is part of the Sadler Brothers MDS system, which has been used for Brook City as well as Street Masters. Now, with that being said, let's take a look at what's in the box. Now we're going to take a look at what's in the box for Alter Quest. So let's get a look in here. We'll slide this over. Everything should still be on camera. So we have the rule book. We also have the Out of Luxon story guide. We're going to set those aside quickly. Just take a look at what we have here. So we have a whole slew of different tokens. So we have some shield, torches. These look to be objective tokens if you're familiar with the MDS system. We have just some tokens per different characters in case you're buying this at retail. Here we've got some damage tokens, what looks to be money, more damage tokens, and then just some more of the other tokens that we saw spread out on this page. So let's place these down. I just wanted to put the rule book on top of that. So we'll take a look at the rule book and see what we have in here. So nice feel to the rule book. We do have a breakdown of the game content. So those were traps. The blue ones were actions. We've got focus, supply, search, quest, threat, armor, damage, progress. So not money, progress, and then stairs. So we get a nice overview of the cards, the threat deck, the villain decks. Haven't seen a setup. So setup for the threat area. If you're familiar with an MDS system, you'll know what that is. Here's an example of a two-player game setup. And then other than that, not too much that I want to comment on for the rule book. I do like the fact that we've got these big, almost video game-like pop-ups, just because it does highlight certain things that I'm guessing we'll need to know. And then on the back, we do get a nice turn summary. So we've got the quest guide story Out of Luxon. So we get an introduction, then we get explanation for each of the chapters, and then how to do upkeep at the end of the campaign. Now, there's also quests that we can do. I'm not going to go into this too much. I don't want to spoil it for people that do not want spoilers. Now, we do have the boards, and the board is rather large, as you can see from me unfolding it. So we're going to do our best to showcase the board. Reminds me of when we were taking a look at Talisman Kingdom Hearts. I'm going to just fold up part of the board here so we don't run into the camera. So as you can see, it's standardized so that you can set up any quest on these boards. We also do have the playmats, which we're not going to be showcasing in the video just because of the size that they take up. So we've taken a look at the tokens. Let's take a look at what else we've got in here. So we have dice. These look to be enemy die, and not quite sure what all the symbols are. But we've got the wavy ones. This looks like armor or threat, potentially. This could be a hit a wild, or it could be different elements. So these are the enemy dice that we get. And then we'll take a look at the hero dice, which, having played other MDS games, I'm definitely more familiar with, because we have our hits, the exploding hits, which I'm guessing is from the circle, the hits and defense, and then the defense symbol. Really like the look of the dice for Alter Quest. We'll put this stuff back in the bag. I don't want to have too much stuff all over the place, because as you can see, there's a really big box, and these are actually a lot nicer mini trays than what we got with Street Masters, for example. So here we've got some plastic rings. So we do have blue, green, yellow rings, also the red ones. Now these are so that you can mark the enemies. I did get a bunch of extra ones to pre-base them. Now I'm not sure how that's going to work with the insert here, but I'm guessing that the insert might end up not being kept, despite the fact that it is much better than what we've seen in other Blacklist games. Now let's see what we've got here. So these are dividers. Yeah, this is probably going to stay no matter what. Unfortunately, this divider pack is just a little annoying in how it's sealed. I really wish companies would spend more time thinking about how we unseal and open up their games, because this is just straight obnoxious. There we go. Still not the easiest to get open, but one of the reasons why I wanted to take a look at the dividers first is so that as we're looking at the characters, I'll be able to identify them. So we have the divider for Cetrin Highmore, Rowan Laughlin, Miren Duval, Quella. For the different quests, I'm guessing the cleansing, the escape, the hunt, the rescue, the search, the showdown, then Frox Cars, Raglanders, the Thralls, Bulks of Belchlord, Gert, Winora Moran, or Morn, the Altars, Allies, enemy upgrades, equipment, features, lurkers, out of lucks in the campaign pool, and your journal. So all these nice cards. So let's see if try my usual slide and hopefully it rips trick, but nope. So this is actually going to be quite the task getting this all unboxed. So after we take a look at this pack, I'm going to take a quick cut and I'm going to go get some tools to open this up, because this is particularly difficult with regards to getting the packaging open, as you can see. So this is definitely one of the things I'm going to ding the company for. Unfortunately, stuff like this doesn't actually dissuade me from buying the company's games, but I wish there was some better way that I could vote with my wallet with regards to packaging. As you can see, this is very difficult. All right, rather than waste more time on this, I'm going to take a quick cut. I'm going to get some tools and just to be able to get this open, and I'll be right back. All right, and I'm back, and as you can see, I have unpacked all of the cards. So let's take a look at what we get now. The only unfortunate thing is by unpacking them, I'm not sure exactly where they start, but I do remember when I was taking a look at them, we had started with Quella. So we do get her hero card, and then what looks to be her equipment, Harpy Talons, Wind Chill, Quake, Searing Blast, and you can tell that they're her cards. I was just asking myself that by the card back, Invigorate. So we're just going to take a quick look at the cards, otherwise we'll be going through this for quite a while. So let's flip this over and take a look at her cards. So we're actually going to just put these aside. I might actually use the dividers as I'm unboxing this just to get everything set up and put away. So here we have cards from the hunt. So it looks like we've got some different effects that'll happen. And then remaining still different tests and things that we're going to have to pass during the game. So these are the cards for the hunt. Here we've got some lurkers, and these look to be like special cards. Well, this looks like this is the quest setup card for the hunt. Not sure why it's in with the lurkers. Spy, traitor, thief, fanatic. So it doesn't say that these are necessarily bad. And we saw, so some of the other lurkers, Feral Mother. We did see some of these as tokens. So Frox Raider, Frox Muckslinger, Frox Bogmancer, Ragged Cannibal, Raglan Blooder, Raglan Burner, Gargoyle, Crimson Courtier, Feral Mother. We saw all those. So let's take a look at what we've got here. And I always like having my hero stuff first. I'll put that there. The cleansing, the hunt, the search, the showdown. Put it in as heroes, quests. Everything is double-sided, so this seems to make sense to just put it in like this for the moment. So how am I going to organize? Well, I'm going to read it across like this. So the lurkers will go there. Let's see, what do we have for equipment cards? So place the equipment cards, you're going to look at them. So we've got weapons, which have some stats on them and what they will do for attacks. So we obviously have ranged weapons as well. With the longbow, great axe. I do like the art of everything. Holy staff, long sword, concealed blade, flail. So we've got all these different weapons and armor that we'll be able to equip. So we do have stuff for the mages, stuff for warriors, rapiers, scepter of insight. Lots of cool stuff that we do have. So next we have the hunt. Put that in there. And of course we need to take Quest cards and put them where they belong. Now, this is going to take a little bit longer with the sorting of the cards, but I figured it's something that some people can find fairly useful, and honestly just saves me a little bit of time getting everything ready to go. So here we've got the frocks. We have the ally cards, the cards for Cedrin Highmore, who's got a rather large deck. So let's take a look at his cards. We have his hero card, Aluna's Gift. So Star of Aluna starts with Steel Mace, Aluna's Wrath, so he's definitely our cleric. Guiding Light, Divine Protection, Aluna's Blessing, Healing Hands, Rousing Him. It's probably going to be the character that I'm going to play when we play the game. Most likely Julie and I will be each taking on the role of two characters, as we always do. So I do believe that for the base game, that's actually going to give us access to all of the characters. So here are the allies, so we can play any of the four heroes as allies as well. Now, you will be seeing a lot more allies as we go through all of the content for Altar Quest, as we do have the stretch goals. So let's take a look at the enemies, the frocks. So we do have a reference guide for them. So we have different frocks as raiders, and you can see the color of them there. So if you want to pre-base them like I'm going to, it should be fairly easy. You've got the Muckslingers, Bogmancers, Muckstalkers, and Frogling Swarms. So we had the altars, thralls, the frocks. All right, we'll continue with the cards. And these are the search cards. So different things that we can find: potions of healing, might, so ways to modify our stats, ancient scrolls, so change up to 2 altar dice, blinding powders, eyes in the dark. Don't think we want to run into those. So we've got enemy upgrade cards, ways for enemies to get upgraded. So we have dark resilience, sinister enchantments. So we want to keep an eye out for those and hopefully make sure that the enemies do not get upgraded, because any game I've ever played, upgraded enemies are exactly what we don't need. So these are the different altars: unstable altars, burning, drowned, storm, quaking, and solar. So all relating to different elements. So that is pretty cool. I'm interested to see how this is all going to work. Now, this is the unboxing, so I really am going into this blind. I have not read the rule book at all. So I'm going to put this card back because it goes for Bulks the Belchlord. So these are feature cards. Let's separate them out. So we've got the Thralls with the references. So we've got Gargoyles, Crimson Courtiers, Feral Mothers, Banner of Morn, Trap cards, and Endless Thirst. So it looks like these are vampires. So pretty cool. I'm really interested to see what the Sadler brothers have worked up for us in this fantasy setting, because they've done such a good job with like Warhammer Quest and Terranoth stuff with Heroes of Terranoth. It's really going to be nice to see them in their element with their own actual game. So here we've got the spot for the feature cards. So let's take a look at these. So finding an altar, bookshelves, locked chests. So these are different elements that are going to be placed on the map that you'll be able to interact with. Now, I did not see the search cards, so we're going to leave these off to the side and keep going. I want to make this a shorter unboxing, but that almost never happens with me. So we've got Bulks the Belch Lord. So he looks to be like one of the bosses that we're going to have to face. And I'm guessing that he commands our Froxes. So he's got some nasty cards that we'll have to deal with. So we had his deck. Just right after the altars. Well, all of the big bads seem to have their decks right here. So we've got hers. Then we've got our warrior, Miren Duval. So we have all of her cards. And I'm just speeding this up. I don't want to spend too much time on this unboxing. Probably already spent a little more time than I like just because I was messing around with the cards, which made me want to go through them in more detail. So here are the Out of Luxon story rules for this campaign, different things that we'll be able to pick up. So not going to really look at this. Don't want to spoil the story, but you do get to see what you can acquire as you go through the game. Let's grab another stack right here. And these all look to be, so these are the Raglanders here. These are the turn reference cards. Don't know where we're going to place those. Then we've got Rowan and something from a quest. So let's take a look at Rowan, Laughlin. So Trapper's Rope, stray knives, throwing stuff. He's good at searching, rummaging, making traps, cooking. Definitely fills the role of that halfling thief, but I'm drawing a blank as to what the race is referred to in the universe of Altar Quest. So we'll put that back. We'll take a look at the Raglanders. So I got Cannibals, Blooders, Burners, then their traps, and a Curious Odor, which represents their events. At least now that I've gotten more of the cards organized already, it's definitely getting a lot easier to sort through the deck and get stuff placed properly. We'll just lean them back as we go through the other stuff. So we've got the Rescue. So the cards for the Rescue. Lots of events. Maybe even an ally that we can gain, which is pretty cool. So we've got another boss right there, Gert, who I'm guessing is the leader of the Raglanders. We've got some multiple bosses here, so we'll get over there in a moment. This looks like they're also for the Rescue. I thought I had all the cards. It did seem that it was a little light. Put those aside for a second. Let's take a look at what we have for the search. So we got all the cards for this quest. And we also have the showdown. So we'll separate them out. All right, so let's get these put away. And you can see it's definitely fairly easy to sort the game to make sure that setting it up and getting it to the table, getting it back off the table should not be the most challenging. If I'm not mistaken, the showdown set was back here. And don't worry, we are going to take a look at the miniatures. I'm just looking at my lesson here where we're going to be a lot faster when we take a look at the stretch goals. I got a few more from Showdown. So as you can see, we have an absolute, like, just a truckload of content in this. So we've got the Escape. So it looks like a little bit of some nice theming of escaping from prison. Curious to see how all these are going to play. This is definitely going to be hitting the table sooner rather than later. Julie and I do have some commitments, but I want to get a video on this soon. So we have the Cleansing. So Altar Stone. So I'm guessing we've got some type of corrupted altar. Probably maybe the last quest in the game. So then we've got the two bosses, Gert for the Raglanders, and Winona Morn, who I'm guessing leads the Thralls, our Vampire Queen. So we've got Gert's cards, Winona's cards. We're getting close. I just do not see divider for these search cards. So for the campaign pool is where I'm going to put these for the moment. I'm guessing the search cards don't really have a divider, or they could go with the journal because they come up every game. So there you have it. Those are all of the cards that you're going to be getting in Altar Quest. And for the moment, I'm going to just move the dice. Protect them. So let's take a look at the miniatures. So here we've got bulk. So this is a nice big solid miniature. Definitely more detailed than what we had on the Street Masters minis. Here we have what I'm guessing to be some of the different altars or just scenery. Like here we've got just a weapon rack. This looks like an alchemical table here. A little tricky to get out of the plastic. Yeah, so an alchemical table. Nice molding. Definitely want to be a little careful with it, at least when you're taking it in and out. Here we've got a mushroom patch. Here's the miniature for Gert, leader of the Raglanders. I'm guessing this is one of the major altars that we're going to see in the game. We've got another altar here. Very nicely detailed. Here we've got the bookcase. Got what looks to be a mirror. Maybe we can even teleport her through the mirror. Here we've got Laughlin, a little halfling. A lot of detail on the mini. I should have. I'm going to keep him out actually while we take a look at the chest. So here's a chest. Interesting shape. Never quite seen one designed like that. Here we've got more of our frocks, the Bogmancers. We've got their warriors. These are the ones that are ranged. Can't remember the name of all of them right now. We've got some of our other characters. This looks like we've got Quella right here, our druid with the shape-changing ability. Here is Cedrin Highmore, our paladin. And then the warrior, Miran Duval, who's probably my favorite miniature that I've seen so far in this. Here we've got Winona Morn, leader of the Thralls. So we will get top place back on this. And then we'll take a look at what we've got left over here. So here we have doors, and these are all the same, so I'm not going to take them all out. So the different doors that'll be used to set up the different quests. This looks like we've got our courtiers here for the Thralls. Here we've got the gargoyles. Very cool, lots of detail. Now, not all minis are made equal, I think, in terms of what I've seen so far, but all of them are very nice. Some of them are more details than others. We've got our big bad Raglanders here. Drawing a blank on their names. Some more Raglanders throwing bombs. We've got the Banshee-like characters. Well, Feral Mothers, I believe is what they were called. And we've got some more of the Raglanders. And there you have it. We've now taken a look at all of the components for the base game of Altar Quest. Like I said, I'm going to be pre-basing stuff, which is a shame because these inserts are nice, but I do like to condense everything into smaller boxes. So those inserts are probably going to go. But don't forget, we're taking a look at the entire pledge. So keep it right here as we're going to be unboxing the stretch goals. But don't forget there are timestamps, so you'll be able to jump around the video and take a look at whatever you want when you want. Keep it right here. I'm going to be right back. Now let's take a look at what's in the box for Altar Quest Ruins of Arkenspire. Now, for those of you that were expecting the stretch goals, I just want to say I took a look at what's in the box and there was just too much content for me to unbox the stretch goals. This video would be probably getting really close to an hour. It's already quite long just going through the base game. So looking at Ruins of Arkenspire, there's a little bit less content. So keeping my word, we're continuing the unboxing, but you'll see these stretch goals as a separate video. So we do get the new Ruins of Arkenspire story guide. As you can see, it has an introduction set up like the story guide for the main game. We have the new rules for the Ruins of Arkenspire and instructions how to use the encounter tiles, which we have now, and they are double-sided. We've got grave disturbances and the Arkenhold. Here we've got the camp ambush and in trouble. Now let's take a look at what we have here. So we've got these two boxes. Now I'm not going to open them up, but we do have some. Well, you know what? We'll take a look. We're not going to open up anything. Let's just see what's in there. So we have a mini and some cards. That's all we're going to look at. I don't want to have any spoilers. Just wanted to see what was in the box. And feeling this one feels like it may be the same thing. So cool stuff that's going to pop out. We don't know what it is. We don't know what it does. You just saw a quick glimpse. Now we have some dividers. So if you do want to sort all of this content into another box, which is something that I'm going to do. It's unfortunate. It's a nice insert, but one thing I do want to showcase is it's a lot of air. So this content definitely, at least for me, needs to go into a different box. Let's take a look at the cards. For those of you that watched the whole first part, you know that stuff was fairly stuck together. So we do get some new turn order cards. Here we have some new equipments. Visage of Sarah, Staff of Volcra. So pretty cool new powerful equipment that we can use in the game. We have the first quest deck into the Arkenspire. So we have the setup, then all of the instructions as to what's going to be happening with different wardings, events, and things like that that will be occurring. Next, we've got Thane the Nathander. So this is looking like the main villain. So we do have his card. On the back, we have reference to how to set him up. Unholy creation. So definitely raising people from the netherworld. Let's take a look at Thane the Nathander here. So this is what we've got for his miniature. Now we've got the story deck for Ruins of Arkenspire. So explanation for Tales of Luxon. I guess this is to just lead it right into this. We've got a new ally and different things that we'll be gaining as we go through this campaign. So we do get some new lurkers based on some of the new enemies. So we've got the Profane Shamblers, as you can see right here. So these are the Profane Shamblers miniatures. We then have the Wretches, which are these minis right here. And be careful taking them out. It does require a little bit of pressure. Then lastly, we've got the Revenants. And I do like the fact that they are these ghostly pale miniatures. So very cool. And like what they're doing with that. So we've got the Arkenhold. So these are the different encounters that we will see in the deck. Well, I'm not quite sure how this works. It's definitely something new. Like I've played other MDS games before, but having Arkenhold encounters as well as grave disturbances. These are the encounters for the specific maps that we just saw. So each of them has their own deck, which is similar to Street Masters. So very cool stuff. The camp ambush. Did we grab some? Oh, this is from the Profane. Apologies. So the camp ambush stuff. So then we have the Profane, which are the enemies. So you've got the Profane Shamblers, the Wretches, Revenants, Haunting Effigy. And lastly, we've got the Coffin and Sarah's chosen. So here is the coffin miniature, or scenery, if you want to call it. And then Sarah's chosen is the last mini of this big hulking guy. Lots of great detail on the miniature. Really like what we're seeing here. And there you have it. That is the Ruins of Arkenspire expansion. So that will end this unboxing of Altar Quest as well as the Arkenspire expansion. And don't worry, I'll be unboxing the stretch goals as well as the other expansion, as this was an all-in pledge for Altar Quest. So that'll just be coming at you in a separate video. Now, keep it right here, as I'll be coming back at you with a quick outro. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you like what you saw, don't forget to click the like button, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when our next video is released. Also, down below in the video description, you will find links to all of our social media feeds. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So when Julie and I get Altar Quest to the table, you'll be able to see pictures of us playing the game. And then popping up in front of me are going to be links to some of our previously released videos. Over here will be our most recent one. And the one over here will be to one of the other MDS games. And eventually it will be the review and how to play of Altar Quest. Now don't forget, keep playing games.